Welcome to Archangel Michael Says Daily, a channel dedicated to sharing divine wisdom, spiritual protection, and angelic guidance inspired by Archangel Michael. Today we will be talking about topic whoever walked out on you will come crawling. Can you feel it? That strange stillness in the air the moment you came across these words? It's not an empty silence. No, it is the silence of anticipation. The silence of the universe holding its breath just before a shooting star streaks across the night sky. You might think you just stumbled upon this. An algorithm, a random suggestion, a moment of distraction in a long day. But your soul, that deepest, wisest part of you, it knows the truth. It's stirring right now, isn't it? A gentle quickening, a familiar knowing, as if it has been waiting for this moment for a very, very long time. Take a deep breath, because you did not arrive here by accident. You were led here. Every misstep, every dead end, every sleepless night, every silent tear, all of it were invisible arrows pointing to this exact destination, this place, this moment, this message. This is not just another video. This is not another empty promise. This is a divine appointment, an appointment that was set before time began. And you, beloved, have arrived right on schedule. The message you are about to receive is not a product of chance, but a direct intervention, a deliberate act from heaven itself. It comes no sooner and no later, but is delivered at a time so perfectly orchestrated down to the last detail, to maximize its reception and its eternal impact on your life. Let this truth sink deep into your very fiber, into your bloodstream. The fact that you are here, listening to these words, is not a coincidence. Banish the word random from your vocabulary, at least for tonight. Your stumbling upon this video was not a formless, meaningless event. On the contrary, feel the weight of this truth. It is explicitly affirmed to be an event of purpose, an intricate arrangement of destiny, a supernatural force, an intelligence far greater than anything we can conceive, has gently but firmly guided you to this precise moment. Your presence here and now is not just a point on a timeline. It is part of a grander plan, an intervention, from heaven designed, woven, and personalized just for you. This encounter is not happenstance, but a meticulously staged spiritual intersection. An astonishing moment where the divine, where the eternal realm, is consciously and purposefully touching your earthly life. This affirmation is not meant to frighten you, but to reassure and strengthen the faith that may be wavering within you. It is a reminder that you are not alone, have never been alone. The universe is not a cold machine, but a living entity, and it is actively sending you a sign, a specific guidance. This message eliminates all thoughts of luck, of meaningless chaos. Instead, it places the focus on a sacred purpose behind every revealed moment, implying that everything in your life, even the broken pieces, has a profound meaning. In the stillness of the long nights, when the world was asleep and it was just you with your own thoughts, what did your soul whisper? In your most desperate moments, when you no longer had the strength to utter a prayer aloud, what did your heart cry out for in the silence? This message, these very words you are hearing, is the specific answer to those prayers. It is the response. to the deepest longings your soul has expressed in whispers, or not even in words at all. This is irrefutable proof that your suffering, your desires, your most secret dreams have not been ignored or forgotten by the heavenly realms. Heaven has listened. Heaven has recorded every silent cry, every heavy sigh, every glimmer of hope you thought was extinguished long ago. The silent plea of your soul is not just about conscious prayers. It also encompasses the longings of your subconscious. The deep heart wounds that you may not be able to articulate or even fully realize are still there, silently bleeding. This message comes as a confirmation that God and the angels understand the deepest recesses of the human soul, the hidden corners you dare not look into yourself. And they don't just understand, they have prepared an answer, a healing remedy, a blessing that is fitting and complete. Have you ever wondered why you had to wait so long? Why your prayers seemed to go unanswered? The delay you have experienced was not a rejection. Listen closely to this. The delay was not denial. It was a strategic waiting, a loving preparation on heaven's part. They did not grant this blessing sooner, not because they didn't want to, but because you were not yet ready. A spiritual preparation was needed, a tempering from within the receiver. This moment is described as exact, implying a perfect calculation of divine timing, an optimal alignment between heaven's will and earth's readiness. A heart soft enough, open enough, willing enough are the crucial prerequisites for receiving a miracle in its fullness. Soft enough implies empathy. When your heart is no longer calloused by pain, but has become more compassionate, it is the ability to be vulnerable without collapsing, the shedding of a hardened shell. Open enough means being free of prejudice, ready to receive things that are new and different, no longer closing yourself off to extraordinary possibilities. And willing enough is the readiness to courageously let go of old fears, of doubts, ingrained in the subconscious, and of self-imposed limitations to embrace something greater, without resistance. This preparation is the key factor so that the blessing can be received and utilized to its maximum effect, so that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands or be wasted due to your own unreadiness. This also suggests a profound truth. The very trials and tribulations of your past, the things you once cursed, were the very tools that served to soften and open your heart, preparing you for this very moment of glorious eruption. Your past may be filled with broken hopes, promises unfulfilled, doors slammed shut in your face. Your heart may have learned to protect itself with skepticism, but this message is inviting you, powerfully and earnestly, to step beyond the fortress of those disappointing experiences. It invites you to dare to trust again, to believe that this present moment is a completely new beginning, a clean slate. This time is truly different is not an empty slogan. It is a powerful affirmation meant to permanently break the cycle of doubt, cynicism, and the acceptance of a repetitive fate. It calls for a leap of faith, a voluntary placement of yourself in a state of reception and expectation for the extraordinary, for things that defy all logic and your past experiences. To receive what is different, you must also adopt a different attitude. Allow yourself to hope again. Dare to believe in the possibility of the impossible. Because what is about to happen will not follow the old rules or patterns you are accustomed to. It will break them. It will rewrite them. You are not alone in this moment. A general of heaven, a great protector, is present with you. Imagine it now. Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, the commander of the heavenly hosts, is looking toward you, and on his face, a smile. This smile is mentioned repeatedly, and it carries an incredibly deep meaning. It is the smile of approval, of joy, and of absolute assurance. This smile not only expresses the satisfaction of a divine being with your readiness, but is also a sign of comfort, a spiritual embrace, showing that everything is proceeding according to the divine plan, and you are walking exactly on the path that was intended for you. It is a symbol of victory after a long battle. It is the peace after the storm. That smile affirms that your silent efforts, your tireless perseverance, and your unwavering faithfulness have been noted and are now being rewarded accordingly. The smile of Archangel Michael is a reminder that a powerful protector is watching over and supporting you, bringing hope and absolute peace of mind in this most critical moment of transition in your life. Imagine that devotion. An archangel, a being of light and power, has been waiting for hours, not in impatience, but with divine patience. This emphasizes his unwavering commitment and infinite love for you. His waiting is not a delay or indifference. It is part of the divine arrangement, an act of timing, ensuring that this message would be delivered at the most perfect moment, when you were fully ready to receive it completely. And when the time comes, he does not shout, he whispers. The act of whispering evokes an incredible intimacy, a personal and private message meant only for the ears of your soul. It is not a public announcement, but a sacred secret shared between him and you. This patience also reflects heaven's deep respect for human free will and the process of spiritual maturation. They wait until you open your heart yourself. They do not force or intervene before the time is ripe. How precious is the blessing that is coming to you? It is so precious that it requires an archangel, a warrior, to personally protect it. His role is not just to deliver the message, but to escort it, to stand guard. He has been given a specific mission to protect the release of this promise. This is clear evidence of the value and sanctity of the coming gift. It implies that there are negative forces or circumstances, the wrong hands, that might try to prevent, steal, or defile this blessing. But Archangel Michael has been appointed to stand guard, to fight them off, and to ensure this sacred asset is delivered to the correct address, your soul, and the affirmation it belongs to you and it is ready further increases the authenticity and urgency of the message. It conveys a powerful message of divine ownership. This blessing is not something you have to fight for or beg for. It is your destiny, your inheritance. And now is the time for you to stand up and claim it. Go back to the darkest nights of your life, the nights when physical or emotional pain tormented you to the point where it felt impossible to breathe. The nights you felt utterly alone, abandoned by the whole world. You were not alone. Even in those moments, Archangel Michael was there. He stood by your bedside, an incredibly intimate and protective image. He wasn't just observing from a distance. He was right there, and he whispered strength into your soul, even when you were not conscious of it. It was those invisible whispers that helped you get through the night, that gave you the strength to take one more breath. This presence reinforces a crucial idea. None of your suffering was in vain. It was all witnessed. It was all recorded by heaven. And it was in those very moments of weakness that the preparation for this great present blessing was being made. The role of Archangel Michael does not end when the message is delivered. He is not just a messenger. He is an escort. He is present to see you through this transition. This implies that the coming change is not a single event, but a profound and transformative process which may have its own challenges. This process requires continuous guidance and protection. His presence ensures that you will not get lost or stumble during this most critical phase of your life. He is here to witness your blossoming, to applaud your victory, and to ensure the transition from the old state to the new state happens smoothly and according to the divine plan. This short phrase holds an immeasurable power and guarantee. He is standing guard. Let that image form in your mind. A radiant angel with a sword of light, standing guard at the door of your soul. This means that he is actively, at this very moment, protecting your blessing from every threat, every obstacle, every negative energy. This brings an absolute peace of mind, a certainty that your miracle is safe. No power, whether human or supernatural, can take away what has been destined for you. This role of guardianship also expresses the seriousness and importance of the current moment, showing that it is a vulnerable time, but also one that is most securely protected by the forces of heaven. Time is contracting. The realms are meeting, and you are standing at the epicenter of it all. This is not an ordinary day. This is not an ordinary night. You are standing in a spiritual intersection. Imagine it like a portal, a unique point in time and space where the physical world and the spiritual world meet and influence each other powerfully. This is a moment when the veil between the realms becomes so thin it is almost transparent. This allows for the intervention and manifestation of divine forces to become clearer and stronger than ever before. This moment is not just a regular moment. It is a turning point of destiny, where divine energy is flooding your surroundings, waiting to be activated. Everything is being perfectly aligned for a great spiritual event to unfold, and you, yes you, are the center of this magical intersection. This image carries an incredibly powerful symbolism of divine presence and preparation that is personalized to the utmost degree. The fact that God and Archangel Michael appear together emphasizes the unity, the consensus, and the supreme power of this arrangement. They are not in some distant place in heaven. They are standing over your house. Feel that closeness. This intervention is not abstract. It is happening right in your personal space dot, and they carry something sealed just for you. This alludes to a blessing, a gift, a destiny that has been prepared, packaged, and carefully preserved. The sealed nature protects it from all interference, all prying eyes, all negative influences, until the right moment for it to be opened by and for you alone. Feel the urgency. In the unseen realm, there is a divine clock that is counting down. Its ticking is not meant to cause fear, but to create a sense of urgency and irreversibility. It implies that there is a set deadline for the release of this blessing, and that time is getting very, very close. This urges you to pay attention, to focus, to act immediately, because every moment that passes is precious. Your waiting has not been an endless delay. It is a directed movement with a timetable from heaven, and that clock is about to strike. 0. Such a beautiful and delicate image. The dove has long been a symbol of the Holy Spirit, of peace, hope, and good news. The blessing being likened to a dove hovering outside the window of your soul shows that it is very close, so close that you can feel its presence, but it still needs permission from within to fly in. It represents a gentle waiting, not forceful, but full of potential. It is gently tapping on the glass of your soul, inviting you to open up. This comparison also emphasizes the gentle, subtle nature of the divine intervention. It does not come loudly or forcibly, but as a loving invitation into the depths of your being. Now, the ball is in your court. Heaven has done its part. They have prepared, protected, transported, and brought the blessing to your very door. And now, they are watching your reaction. This reaction is not just a physical act like nodding or smiling. It is a spiritual opening, a yes from the depths of your soul, a surrender of faith. Heaven's observation shows the immense importance of this choice and its massive impact on your destiny. The reaction here is a deep interaction at the spiritual level, demonstrating trust and a willingness to receive unconditionally. They are waiting to see if you will open the window for the dove to fly in. Let this sentence echo in your mind. Tonight is not like other nights. This is a powerful warning and an immediate call to action. It clearly distinguishes tonight from the thousands of other nights that have passed in your life. Tonight carries a special energy, a unique potential. This unlikeness is due to the perfect convergence of divine timing, the readiness of your heart, and the release of a long-compressed blessing. This urgency is not to sow fear, but is a positive urging so that you do not miss a golden opportunity, a gate of destiny that may only open once. This is where the message becomes incredibly serious. It gives a clear warning about the consequences of not receiving, the act of ignoring, scrolling past, delaying, doubting, or denying is not just a personal act of indifference. It is considered an act of missing a rare opportunity. The word rare emphasizes the special value and uniqueness of this blessing. It is not something easily obtained or that will be repeated next week or next month. And the consequence does not just affect you. Your missing it would be the heartbreak of heaven. Imagine that the divine beings who have worked tirelessly to prepare this gift for you would feel a deep disappointment when such a carefully prepared blessing is missed due to a lack of attention, fear, or lack of faith from the human side. This creates a sense of great responsibility and importance for your choice. Not just for yourself, but for all the heavenly realms that are holding their breath and watching. After all the waiting, after all the struggles, after all the feelings of being left behind, a powerful and final affirmation rings out. This is your time. Let those words wash away all doubt. This is the destined time for your growth, success, and fulfillment. It puts an end to the weary periods of waiting. Your time signifies your turn, your recognition, and the opening of the door to the very best that life has for you. It is a reminder that everything is unfolding according to a divine schedule and cannot be delayed another moment. Feel the release that this affirmation brings. Allow yourself to accept that you are worthy of the blessings to come, and that now, right now, is the time for you to receive them. To truly understand the importance of tonight, you need to understand how God operates, especially concerning the timing of blessings and the profound reasons behind the delays. You once hated. Everything, whether joy or pain, is part of a grand and perfect divine plan, more magnificent than you can possibly imagine. This is a powerful metaphor, a truth that can completely change how you view your past prayers. God never forgets. Your prayers do not disappear into the void or get lost in an indifferent universe. Instead, they are consciously and purposefully stored by Him. Imagine this: every plea, every wish, whether whispered in secret or seemingly unanswered, is noted, sorted, and carefully preserved by heaven like precious gems. Storing evokes the idea of a sacred treasury, a vast reservoir of energy, where your aspiration, your tears, and your faith are kept until the right moment. This affirmation brings an unparalleled deep comfort to those who have prayed for years without seeing results. It tells you that not a single one of your words was in vain. They have all been accumulating for a greater purpose, for a glorious explosion. Continuing the storing imagery, this sentence describes the unstoppable eruption of answers from God. The right time is the key, the moment of perfect alignment. And when that time comes, the answers will not come in trickles, little by little. No, they will pour out in waves. Imagine a dam breaking, a flood of grace, a tsunami of blessings, overwhelming, abundant, and unstoppable. And these waves will flood every dry place in your life. This signifies a complete revival and restoration. Every aspect of your life that was previously lacking, painful, or barren: finances, relationships, health, creativity will all be filled with blessings, bringing life and freshness. This blessing will not just touch a small part, it will transform the entire landscape of your life. And this is the sentence that connects the waiting and the manifestation, the past and the present. It declares boldly that the moment of that blessing eruption is no longer a promise for the distant future. It has arrived. The dam will break tonight. Tonight is the designated starting point, where the prayers stored for so many years will begin to be poured out. This creates a sense of extreme urgency and excitement, signaling an immediate and significant change is about to take place. This is not a promise. This is an announcement. Let the burden of waiting fall from your shoulders. This message shatters all assumptions of a prolonged wait and an ongoing preparation. It asserts definitively and powerfully that the miracle you have long awaited is not a project underway in heaven. It is finished. It has been packaged. It has been sealed. It is ready to be given. The repetition of it is ready is not accidental. It is for emphasis, to nail this truth into your mind, to silence all voices of doubt. This brings a great sense of relief, releasing the burden of waiting and uncertainty. Every detail, every arrangement has been completed by heaven, waiting for just one thing: your alignment. So why the delay? The answer lies here. The delay was not due to a lack of preparation on heaven's part, but because a perfect alignment was necessary. Imagine two gears. One is heaven's timing, always perfect. The other gear is your heart. Heaven had to wait patiently until your heart, after all its tempering, turned to the exact position for the two gears to mesh. The concept of a collision implies a powerful convergence, a perfect fit, a click moment in the universe where human willingness and the divine plan meet. This reaffirms that your free will and spiritual development are key factors. Heaven does not force, they await your consent. And now, the most definitive statement rings out from the Archangel himself. This is that moment. No more doubts, no more guessing. The moment of collision, of alignment, has arrived. The time when all preparations are complete and all conditions are met is now. And accompanying that declaration is a call to action, an urgent warning. Do not waste it. This warning emphasizes the immense value of this opportunity. It urges you to be conscious, to be focused, and not to let distractions, hesitation, or the voices of old fears cause you to miss the fortune of a lifetime. Wasting this moment could mean missing a rare and precious opportunity that may never come again. The delay was not denial or forgetfulness. Think of it as a divine strategy. God delayed the blessing not to punish you, but to increase the size of the blessing. Like a wise investor, He allowed the compound interest of grace to accumulate. If the blessing had been given sooner, it might not have reached the scale or stature that God intended. This delay was part of the preparation, allowing the blessing to be sized up to match your expanded growth and capacity to receive. This offers a completely new perspective on the periods of waiting and hardship. They were not wasted years. They were periods of incubation and growth for something much greater. This is one of the most liberating truths you can hear. Think back on all the delays, the disappointments, the rejections you have experienced. The things you once saw as obstacles, failures, or injustices were, in fact, acts of protection from heaven. That was how God hid your miracle. Hid it from whom? From the wrong people, those who might exploit, destroy, or not cherish you and your gift. And hid it from the wrong time. Circumstances where the blessing could have been contaminated, wasted, or unable to reach its full potential. This explanation brings deep comfort, helping you understand that what you went through was not cruel randomness, but sacred shelter, a silent protection of your high destiny. Let this sentence become your new mantra. Repeat it until it sinks into your bones. I was not being rejected, I was being protected. This direct affirmation completely refutes the feeling of abandonment, unworthiness, or failure you may have carried for years. Instead, it emphasizes that every delay, every closed door, was part of an active plan of protection. Protected implies that there were potential dangers, traps, negative forces that heaven actively kept you away from to ensure the safety of your path and the purity of the blessing meant for you. This completely changes your perspective from that of a victim to that of someone cherished and sheltered. empowering you to realize that you have always been in God's loving care. Now look back at the most specific pains. That dream job that fell through at the last minute. The person you loved who walked away. That golden opportunity that vanished into thin air. You thought it was failure. You thought it was because you weren't good enough. Know this message redefines them all. Those heartbreaking events were not signs of unworthiness. They were purposeful actions by God. The purpose was to keep your destiny out of reach of people or circumstances that could contaminate it, that could diminish the true blessing He had in store for you. God has a longer view. He was protecting a better future, a purer and more powerful blessing. And to do that, He had to prevent anything that could compromise the integrity of that destiny. And this is the declaration of release. The word now marks the end of the hidden protection phase and the beginning of the public manifestation phase. It is an assurance that the forces, the people who once tried to harm or hinder your blessing, have now completely lost their power. They cannot touch what is yours is a commitment to absolute safety and divine ownership. The blessing has been perfectly protected, and now is the time for it to be released without any obstacles. The wording is also deeply personal. Listen to how He calls you, my child. It expresses the love, care, and pride that God and Archangel Michael have for you. This is a concise yet incredibly powerful summary of the meaning of delays. It was not a denial rejection. It was an act of preservation, like how one preserves a precious work of art. Heaven preserved. You preserved your destiny, safeguarding your purity and potential until the most opportune time. When you could shine most brightly, the delay kept you intact and safe from damage or loss. Finally, look back at the times of rejection. That feeling was painful, but this message sheds a profound light on their true meaning. Instead of being a punishment or a sign of unworthiness, rejection is redefined as a sacred act of redirection. Imagine God as a GPS navigator. Every time you heard rejected, it wasn't the end, but recalculating route. Every closed door was not a finality, but a guidance. An invisible arrow pushing you toward a better path, a bigger door, a blessing more suited to your ultimate destiny. This redirection is part of the larger arrangement, leading you to a more optimal position and blessing. It invites you to look back on your past failures through a lens of gratitude, realizing they served a much higher purpose. Now that we understand the timing and preparation, let us pull back the curtain together to behold the true nature and scale of the blessing that is coming. This is not a small change. This is not an ordinary gift. This is a revolution of destiny, a comprehensive transformation, a manifestation of divine justice, and a restoration that exceeds your wildest expectations. Let this sentence challenge every wall of limitation you have built around your heart. This is a bold declaration designed to shatter old beliefs and expectations that have been narrowed by harsh reality. The coming miracle will transcend all logic, all possibilities you have ever imagined. The phrase "what you never thought could" happen emphasizes the supernatural, extraordinary, and almost unimaginable nature of this event. It aims to break down all mental barriers and expand your awareness of what is truly possible. when heaven intervenes, and the fact that it happens tonight reinforces the immediacy and irreversibility of this miracle. What is that impossible thing? It's not an abstract concept. It is a specific dream, a deep and sometimes painful longing that you have kept hidden in your heart. It's the thing you cried for in secret, when no one was watching, when you thought no one understood, no one cared. God saw those tears. He heard those silent prayers, and He has chosen this hour a sovereign intervention, a divine decision on the most perfect timing to give you that very thing. The long delay was not a denial. It only makes this moment of receiving all the more meaningful, powerful, and sweet. This message highlights the magnificent contrast between limited human perception and God's infinite plan. Think about the people who laughed at your dreams, who said you couldn't, who thought what you wanted was fanciful. Their perception is not a barrier to God's power. On the contrary, the very impossibility in their eyes becomes the perfect stage for God's power to be spectacularly displayed. Tonight, once again affirmed, is the moment of manifestation, where human limitations are shattered by divine intervention. This also alludes to your upcoming vindication before those who have doubted or underestimated you. This is a direct prophecy from Archangel Michael, indicating a sudden and spectacular shift in how others perceive you. Tonight, the world will witness irrefutable evidence of you being chosen. It will be a public demonstration of the divine grace that covers you. And this transformation will be so swift, so sudden, that by tomorrow, those around you will be astonished. They will ask how it all happened so fast, because it will be inexplicable by ordinary human logic. This is your public vindication, where the result of divine intervention will be undeniable proof, leaving those who once doubted speechless in awe. This is one of the core and sweetest promises of this message, the restoration of what was lost. Perhaps it's a relationship, an opportunity, health, finances, or inner peace. Whatever you have lost and mourned for, the thing you thought was gone forever, it is about to return. But pay attention. This restoration is not just a return to its original state. No, it is a significant upgrade. The things that return will be bigger, better, far more powerful than the original version, far exceeding your expectations and imagination. This emphasizes that God not only fixes what was broken, He improves it, turning past loss into a greater gain in the present. The upcoming event is not just a simple repair. It is described by two powerful words: restoration, bringing everything back to its original or better state, and restitution, compensating for losses, suffering, and wasted time. This implies that every wound, every past scarcity will not only be healed, but will be compensated for abundantly. You will not just get back what you lost. You will get it back plus divine interest. This is a commitment to God's justice, where all suffering is recorded and rewarded accordingly and completely. This promise is one of the most powerful and satisfying aspects of divine justice. Rewriting your entire story implies a radical life transformation. The plot will be changed from a story of suffering, struggle, and doubt to an epic of victory and glory. And this will happen in front of the very people who doubted you, emphasizing the element of public vindication. Those who once looked down on you, underestimated you, or disbelieved in you will have to become reluctant spectators, witnessing your ascent, a living, undeniable proof of God's grace at work in your life. This is a spectacular role reversal, where those who were once skeptical observers now become witnesses to your greatness. This prophecy describes an expansion of influence and recognition beyond your imagination, hearing your name in places you've never been and speaking of you in rooms you've never been invited into. Implies an extraordinary social and professional advancement. Your reputation and influence will spread naturally, without you needing to actively seek or promote it. This is the result of divine arrangement, not human effort, and the image of sitting at a banquet table you did not build, but that was always meant for you, is a beautiful symbol of the prosperity, opportunities, and position you will receive without having to create or fiercely compete for them yourself. This banquet was predestined. It was specially prepared for you, with a chair bearing your name. It is a sign of unparalleled divine favor and blessing. This is a powerful statement about your new role. You are not just a recipient of blessings. You will become a living testament, a communication channel for God's power and goodness. Your life will become a public announcement, a vivid proof of what God can do. Your transformation is not just personal. It has a greater purpose of inspiring, sowing hope, and proving to others the presence and power of heaven. Your life will be a divine blueprint, a model for others to follow, a story that people will tell to find guidance and faith. This event far exceeds a simple blessing. It is a re-establishment of cosmic order in your life. This is not just a blessing, it is divine justice, restoration, recovery, and vindication. Understand the diversity of this gift. It is divine justice, the realignment of all past injustices according to God's perfect standard. Restoration, bringing everything back to a state better than the original, including emotional and spiritual wounds. Recovery, healing and regenerating your energy after a long period of exhaustion and struggle. Vindication, proving your rightness, purity, and value against slander, doubt, or misunderstanding collectively. These concepts show a complete reordering of destiny, not just adding more good things, but also correcting all past mistakes and injustices. This affirmation emphasizes immediacy. Divine justice is not something that will happen in the distant future. It is being executed right now. A direct and timely intervention from heaven is taking place to correct every injustice you have endured. This is not human-style justice, full of flaws and biases. This is a high, pure justice, carried out by God Himself. Divine reversal is a powerful concept. God will turn the tables, transforming the most negative things into the most positive. But it is described as gentle, suggesting it unfolds naturally, harmoniously, without need for opposition or struggle. Every time you were rejected, blocked, or heard a no in the past will now be turned into a powerful yes. And this yes will be bigger, brighter, unstoppable. The scale and power of this reversal will ensure that no one, no force, can take away the blessing that has been destined for you. This transition will take you from a state of minimal existence to one of thriving. and ultimate success. Surviving implies just barely getting by, living from day to day. But you will no longer be there. You will soar, rising up, transcending all limits, reaching your highest potential. This is a promise of freedom from the burdens and constraints of the past, allowing you to achieve the great things you were born to do. This is an incredibly important aspect of divine restoration. God will replace shame with honor. The experiences, the scars from the past that you might feel ashamed of or were humiliated by, will be transformed by God into evidence of your strength, perseverance, and His grace. This is not just forgiveness. It is elevation, a social and spiritual repositioning. Where you once bowed your head in shame, you will now hold it high in honor. During difficult times, you may have experienced confusion, uncertainty, and a lack of direction. God will intervene to replace that dense fog of confusion with the clarity of crystal. This clarity may include understanding your life's purpose, a specific direction for the future, or a deep insight into the meaning of past events. It is a gift of wisdom and insight, helping you see everything more transparently than ever before. A powerful image of absolute liberation. The burdens symbolize all the worries, heavy responsibilities, psychological pain, and loads you have carried for so many years. God will not just remove them, He will replace them with wings. Wings symbolize freedom, lightness, the ability to fly high and overcome all obstacles. This is a release from the chains of the past and a whole new ability to move forward with ease and strength. Your life is about to become proof that it's possible to go from forgotten to favored, that it's possible to rise from the ashes with only faith, that it's possible to receive a second chance so powerful it looks like a whole new life. Your life will become living proof of the seemingly impossible. Each that it's possible is a declaration of God's extraordinary ability to transform lives from forgotten to favored. You will be proof of being remembered by God and receiving special grace after a long period of feeling abandoned. To rise from the ashes with only faith, you will be the image of the phoenix, a symbol of rebirth after complete destruction, emphasizing the power of faith. To receive a second chance, so powerful it looks like a whole new life. You will be proof of a complete restart, where all past mistakes are erased and a new, more brilliant path is opened. The message clearly distinguishes between luck, random, temporary, and legacy, something sustainable, with long-term meaning. What is happening is not a fleeting event. It is part of your eternal destiny, part of the greater story you were born to live. Legacy implies that these blessings are not just for you, but can also impact future generations and leave a meaningful mark on the world. This is a final, fateful affirmation. Your presence here and now is not random. It is the culmination of a sacred purpose. From the moment you were born, you were destined for this very moment, for the manifestation of this blessing and this great transformation. This gives a deep meaning to your entire life, affirming that every past experience, good or bad, was necessary preparation for this very momentous occasion. This change is not temporary. It is a permanent beginning. This change is not an abstract concept. It will be a distinct physical experience. You will feel it in your chest and in your bones, a transformation from the core. A deep vibration spreading throughout your body. This implies that the change will not only be on a mental or external level, but will also affect your physical and energetic being. It will be an unmistakable sign that something deep and foundational is taking place. This is the sequence of emotional and spiritual reactions as the change begins. First is a surge or a stirring, a feeling of moving energy or internal excitement. Next, paradoxically, is a deep calm, a sense of peace that comes from perfect alignment with God's will. And after that calm, prepare for a shocking opportunity, a blessing that will come so unexpectedly it may startle you with its scale and impact. Again, this declaration from Archangel Michael is a clear confirmation of the timing. Tonight is the starting point for a significant, non-delayable, and irreversible shift. This creates a sense of urgency and certainty, encouraging you to be ready to receive. This is one of the most important characteristics: its permanence. Irreversible means that once the change has begun, there is no way to go back to the old state, the old life, the old self. This provides an assurance that what is coming will be a lasting transformation, not something temporary or that can be lost. Even before you see physical evidence, there will be an inner knowing. Your soul will know. It is an undeniable intuition, a confirmation from within, showing your deep alignment with God's will. This knowing will transcend all rational doubts or what the naked eye can see. This is the promise of a comprehensive change, affecting every aspect of your life. Nothing will feel the same, signals the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. Everything will begin to shift implies a continuous and dynamic process, where new and better things will gradually appear and reshape your reality. A powerful declaration of the closing of a chapter of your life. The old part of your story includes all the suffering, struggles, disappointments, and limitations you have experienced. The fact that it has ended signifies a complete release from the burden of the past, paving the way for a fresh and unencumbered start. Your future will be distinctly different from your past. It will no longer be a struggle, a series of difficult and painful efforts. Instead, it will feel beautifully foreign, implying an ease and harmony you have never experienced. The words calm, flowing, open describe a state of being free from pressure, where everything happens naturally and favorably, like a gentle river. A powerful reassurance from your very protector. In the past, you may have felt that you missed opportunities, but this time, with divine intervention and protection, that will not happen. What is yours will find its way to you, and you will not miss it. The blessing will manifest with force, a powerful, unstoppable energy, with grace as a gift, not because you earned it. And right now, without delay. This combination creates an image of a divine event that cannot be delayed or hindered. A release from old bondages. You no longer need the approval or validation of those around you, those who could never understand your deep nature. This blessing comes directly from heaven. Similarly, the doubts of others will become meaningless. You no longer need their approval. Your coming glory will be the answer. This is the ultimate affirmation. Once God has said yes, no force, no person, no circumstance can cancel or prevent it. This is an absolute guarantee. Your autonomy and inner faith will be strengthened. Your worth and destiny have been validated by the highest authority. All human doubts become irrelevant. The intensity you are feeling is not anxiety. It is your soul's recognition that the moment it has awaited for years, perhaps lifetimes, has finally arrived. You will be granted an upgrade in spiritual perception. You will see, hear, and know the truth in an unshakable way, and this truth will change you forever. Once you know, you will never go back to your former state of ignorance or doubt. This blessing will have extraordinary characteristics. It will come so naturally, so effortlessly. This ease might make you skeptical, but trust that it is simply the fullness of God's goodness finally arriving. God doesn't just meet your requests. He gives abundantly, surpassing even your imagination. It will touch the deep, vulnerable aspects of yourself that you have hidden, bringing healing and acceptance to those parts. The scars of the past will not just be healed, but will be filled with glory, turning them into sources of strength and beauty. The painful experiences of the past will become sources of wisdom, empathy, and inner strength. The periods of feeling empty have created the space for you to be expanded, to receive new and greater things. The delays were invisible signposts, guiding you to the right path at the right time. Every experience, even the most painful, has a purpose, and now God will redeem, transform, and give meaning to every loss. Every pain. It is not a temporary agreement that can be cancelled. It is a covenant, a binding and permanent promise, based on God's faithfulness. Regardless of the mistakes or trials you have gone through, God's good plan for you is steadfast and unshakable. Heaven has done its part. The promise has been sent. The blessing is hovering right at the threshold of your soul. Everything is ready. Only one thing is missing. Something only you can do. This is the final call to action. The invitation for you to step in and seal your new beginning. The decision to open this blessing must come from you. Heaven respects your free will absolutely. There is no coercion in their plan, but there is an undeniable urgency. The divine clock is still counting down. The dove is still waiting patiently. Right now, in this very moment, make a conscious decision. Open your soul to this message. Don't just hear with your ears, but listen with your whole heart. Let these words not just skim your mind, but let them sink in, watering the long-parched soil of your soul. The only thing missing is your yes. A yes not just from your lips, but a yes that echoes from the deepest part of your being. A yes of surrender, of trust, of willingness. When you say yes to this moment, you are doing more than just agreeing. You are unlocking timelines that have been frozen. You are activating promises that were delayed by fear and doubt. You are placing the final signature on the sacred contract of your life. Do not underestimate the power of your yes right now. It is not just emotional, it is prophetic. It is a declaration of what will be. So, right now, find that quiet place in your soul. Take a deep breath and let your consent rise up. Whisper it, or say it aloud, or just feel it with all your sincerity. Say these words as a declaration, a prayer, an acceptance. I receive. I open my heart. I trust. I am ready. This time is truly different. I say yes to God's plan. I say yes to the change. I say yes to the blessing that was destined for me. I take it with gratitude right now. Feel the shift as you say those words, a lightness, a peace, a certainty. You've done it. You've opened the door. Now. Breathe. Stay in alignment. Keep your heart soft and open. Rest in the truth that it is all done. The angels are at work. Archangel Michael is smiling. The old part of your story has truly ended, and the new chapter, the most glorious one, has just begun. Welcome home to the real you, to your destiny. It is done. It is here. It is yours. Thank you for listening to the sharing of divine wisdom, spiritual protection, and angelic guidance inspired by the Archangel Michael Says Daily channel. If you find it interesting, please subscribe and look forward to the next videos. Goodbye and see you again.